What if I told you that one of the greatest athletes of our time started working a real job when she was just 3 years old? We're talking about Venus Williams, the tennis icon who dominated courts worldwide, shattered records, and inspired millions. But behind the Grand Slam titles, Olympic gold medals, and unstoppable serve, there's a side of Venus that most people have never seen. Because Venus isn't just a tennis legend, she's also someone who obsesses over word games, hides gummy bears in her snack stash, and believes her most important role isn't being a champion, it's being a big sister. In this video, we're diving into the 25 things you didn't know about Venus Williams, from childhood secrets to guilty pleasures, quirky confessions, and moments that'll make you rethink everything you thought you knew about her life. And trust me, some of these facts are going to shock you, so let's get started. Most people know Venus Williams as a 7-time Grand Slam champion and a 4-time Olympic gold medalist. She spent decades at the top of her game, breaking barriers, setting records, and changing the way women's tennis is played. She's faced down legends, battled through injuries, and made history alongside her sister Serena, becoming one half of the most iconic sibling rivalry in sports. On the surface, it looks like her life has always been about center court, trophies, and headlines. But here's the thing, that's only part of the story. Because behind the powerful serves and the intense competition, Venus has built a life filled with unexpected quirks, personal rituals, and childhood memories that shaped who she is today. And once you hear some of these lesser-known facts, you'll realize you've barely scratched the surface of who Venus Williams really is. Venus isn't just competitive on the court, she's competitive with herself too. In fact, she says that if she's not working out, she feels extremely guilty. It's not about beating someone else, it's about pushing her own limits. She loves lifting weights, but cardio? That's another story. Venus says she doesn't love it, but she gets it done anyway. Because for her, skipping a workout isn't an option. Even when she's not training for tennis, she's always moving. And that's just the beginning of her off-the-court habits. You might expect Venus to have a glam team following her everywhere. After all, she's one of the most recognizable athletes on the planet. But her beauty routine? It's basically just one step. Venus says her daily routine is simple, just a ton of moisturizer. That's it. She's not into heavy makeup or hours in front of the mirror. For Venus, it's all about keeping her skin healthy and moving on with her day. But when it comes to competition, her mindset is a little different. She takes it seriously, no matter what game she's playing. Most people don't know this, but Venus is obsessed with word games. Her favorite? Scrabble. She loves playing games that challenge her mind just as much as her body. And when it comes to other sports, Venus has dabbled in a few. She had what she calls her beach volleyball moment, and if she could compete in something other than tennis, she says she'd pick track and field. But for Venus, it's not just about staying active. It's about doing things that push her in new ways. Even with all the championships and medals, Venus says her proudest accomplishment isn't winning on the court. It's being a big sister. She's incredibly close to her family, especially her sister Serena. And while people love to debate who's the most competitive on the court, Venus says Serena is the most competitive person in the family, hands down. As for her nieces, they don't call her Venus. To them, she's just Auntie Vivi. But this close-knit family bond isn't new. It started when Venus was barely out of diapers. Here's where things get wild. Venus Williams had her first job when she was just 3 years old. Her dad believed in teaching his kids the value of work early, so he had her delivering phone books in the neighborhood. Seriously. It didn't matter that she was still a toddler. For the Williams family, hard work was part of life from the very beginning. And when she wasn't working, Venus was doing what most kids love to do, playing at the playground. Those were some of her favorite childhood memories. But as you're about to see, the fun didn't stop there. Venus might be one of the greatest athletes of all time, but when it comes to sweets, she has no willpower. Her favorite treats are gummy bears, gummy worms, basically gummy anything. If it's chewy and sweet, she's in. And after a match, she's got a specific ritual. If she wins, champagne and dinner. If she loses, cartoons and candy. It's her way of dealing with the highs and lows of competition. Celebrate the wins, and soften the losses with something sweet. Venus loves a good puzzle. In fact, she says she's really good at scary escape rooms. The scarier, the better. And when she wants to get away from it all, her favorite place to eat is Italy, and her go-to vacation spot is Europe in general. She says she feels at home there. But Venus never travels alone. She has a little dog named Harold, who goes everywhere with her. He's 18 years old, and Venus says he's still as sweet as ever. Even with all the world travel, though, her idea of luxury is simple. For someone who spent most of her life on the road, Venus says the best way to unwind is to just sit on her own couch. Home is her real happy place. But if she's not at her own house, there's one other spot that makes her feel completely at peace: her mom's house. She says it's always warm, cozy, and filled with love. And while Venus has seen the world, competed at the highest level, and built a life most people can only dream of, there are still a few fun facts that surprise even her fans. When it comes to tennis, Venus's favorite surface is hard court. Why? Because the bounce is always true. No surprises, no funny bounces. But there's one sport she says she's terrible at, and people are always shocked when they find out. It's basketball. At 6'1", most people assume she's a natural, but Venus says she's actually really bad at it, and she's totally fine with that. So there you have it, 25 things you didn't know about Venus Williams. She's not just a tennis legend. She's a word game addict, a gummy bear fanatic, a world traveler, and someone who worked her first job before kindergarten. She's Auntie Vivi to her nieces, Harold's best friend, and still her mom's little girl when it comes to family time. Venus Williams has spent her life winning on the court, but it turns out the most interesting victories happen off the court. And chances are, you've only just scratched the surface of her story.